So that's what you put your life, what you put your life to be is to live caringly and nice. So what we first need to do that is to define what is nice. So to define what is nice, you yourself got a basic idea of what is nice to people. So that's the first starting point. The first starting point for you to understand what is nice is to what is nice. You know what is selfish and egotistic and the things that you take only for yourself. You know the difference between what you take for yourself and what you give to others. So that's the basic starting point, is you got a basic idea of what is right, what is nice and what is not nice. That's your first point of orientation. And the second point of orientation is philosophy and religion, because there have been a lot of people who lived before you who defined for you what is nice and what is not nice, because it has always been the main point of living religiously, has always been to be nice. So there's a lot of definitions, so you can read about morality, and you get the second point of definition you get in what people of the past said what is nice and what is caring and a good thing to do. So those are your basic points of orientation, because you have to understand, in my opinion, you really have to understand that if it is necessary to be nice in religion, then that means to be nice the way you understand it. It's not a great magic or an incredible trick behind that. Being nice means just simply, plainly, to be nice. That's a point that one should understand in religion. That might be a bit difficult to understand, because you would say, can it really be this simple? Is it really just being nice and I will live proper religion? Wouldn't I have to study religion or behave in ways that are written in a book or that a priest says? No. Forget that. Forget it thoroughly. It's plainly being nice the way you understand being nice, and the way being nice is plainly and commonly understood. That's what you have to do. It is very important for me at this point to stress, to say very clear that it is the simple form of being nice, the most simple form, basically a simple task that will put you all the way through to perfection. I said you don't have to go to the temple. It isn't bad for you if you go to the temple and pray. It's not a bad idea to pray or talk to God. It's not a bad idea to put gifts in front of statues of a god. It's not, those are all not bad ideas. But the thing that you really have to do to reach perfection is being nice in a simple way. Okay? That's enough. It will be enough if you do that. So now let's come to a definition of being nice that I would give you. What is the purpose of your life? As I said before, in my opinion, the purpose of your life is to come to perfection, to become perfect. That's what you want to be. You want to become perfect. And with perfect, I do definitely actually mean, as I said, being nice. So with being perfect, I mean being perfectly nice. Caring, loving, giving, friendly, being there for the others, being there for the animals and for nature, being there for the world. Just not being there for you, but being there for everybody. Being there for them in friendship. That's what you want to do, and that's what you want to reach perfection in. That is the perfection that we talk about. The way you strive for perfection is you learn to become perfect in being nice. That's the basic point. You don't become perfect in knowledge about religious books. That's not religion. You don't become perfect in fixed ideas about gods. You don't become perfect in going to the temple or church. No. What you become perfect in is being perfect in being nice. That is perfection. So, if you are as nice as you can be, if you are as good and caring as you can be to everybody, then this still is not enough, because you are not practiced enough. This is a point of practice, a thing of practice, of training yourself. So you want to be nicer than you can be today. You cannot, if you are perfectly nice, if you manage to be perfectly nice, then you are perfect. That's the basic idea. The nicer you are, the more of the higher things you will understand. I'll come to that in a second. So that means if you are as nice as you can be today, then you will understand how you could have been even more nice. If you were as caring and friendly as you can be, then if you do that today, if you go to the highest extent of being nice, caring and loving and friendly, if you give everything, so you're only friendly, then the next day you will understand that you say, I could have been more friendly. There, it's a question of exercising yourself. It's a question of training yourself. That's what this is about. So you want to become perfect in being friendly. And in order to do that, you cannot just... There you see why going to the temple or to church is not enough. Because it does not make you more friendly in general. Worshipping a god statue with putting food does not make you more friendly. That not eating pig does not make you more friendly. Covering your hair does not make you more friendly. It's written somewhere, but it does not make you more friendly. The general non-use of alcohol, too much alcohol makes you bad, and that makes you unfriendly, so that's why it's forbidden, why it was forbidden. But in general, a drop of alcohol touching your tongue, or a glass of beer you drink, does not make you completely unfriendly. But you see, alcohol is a bit different to the eating of the meat, because there's a danger of really becoming unfriendly there if you take too much. So that's why it's in this category. So it's a special thing. Alcohol is this thing that you cannot take too much of. But you see, with eating a certain meat or covering your hair does not make you not friendly. And it's just really the amount of friendliness that you have that brings you to being perfect. It's becoming perfect in being friendly. So it works in a way like that. You live in this universe, and you have the ability to see a certain part of the universe. What is around you, you can see a certain part of that, and you can understand a certain part of that. But your perfect self is already touching the outer parts, the higher parts of this universe. They are already present. So you are surrounded by the higher parts of the universe. Not that you see things and the things are around you, but they are also inside of what you see. So the world is made up of the things that you understand and see, and it's also made up of the things that you don't understand, but yet they are there. So higher things of the universe are also already part of the surroundings, but you don't see them. And you don't see them because they cannot get into you. They cannot touch you because you are not good enough to be touched by these things. They want to touch you, but it's like they need to have, in a way, you could say they need to have a respect for you. You will be given power, you will be given understanding, and you will be given possibilities, and you will be given those possibilities if you can be trusted. It's like the key to a house you give to somebody who you can trust. So you will be given understanding as soon as you can be trusted, as soon as you are a firm person that can be trusted. And the higher things of this universe are very caring and friendly things. Doesn't look like that because there's so much bad things happening. The universe seems to be very violent, and that is so. And we do not understand why this is so. Like I might talk about that in another point, because this is just, I just want to keep this general. But basically the higher forces of this universe, God, for example, and all other higher forces, are friendly. They want to give you the best they can give you, and they want to give everybody the best they can give, and they do. If evil things happen, then they happen to give you and the other things a perfection. This universe does not make mistakes. This is the best way things can happen, even if it seems violent to us. It is the way to perfection. If something happens that you cannot really take because it's too mean and too violent, then this is hard for us, and it can make serious problems for us, and that is, everybody knows that. But that's the way things have to happen to come to perfection. And after some time, you will notice that you will come to perfection because those things were like that. So the universe is not evil. It does not know evil things. It's all just the way to perfection. That's something that is hard to believe. It's true, but it's hard to believe. Yeah. So it is. Whatever happens, if you think that God does not exist because this is too hard, then it's just that's what the higher things do to ultimately bring you and everybody to perfection and to a perfectly good state. So heaven, nirvana, however you call it, the perfect state, is a state that is very good for you. So it's going to be the things that you truly want will be there, like your friends and love and life. Those things will be there. The things you really want and need will be in this place. It's going to be just perfect for you. And it's very hard for us from this point of view that we do not understand and see these higher things to believe that. It's the most hard thing. And there's nobody who's going to say, oh, you better believe it. It's easy to believe. It's not easy to believe. It needs a lot of power, and sometimes you will not succeed. There will be days and years probably in which you just cannot believe that God exists, that the things are giving you good things, that there should be heaven. It's going to be hard to believe because so many cruel and violent things happen. It's true, but it is difficult to believe for everybody, so you know that. You just go and know that it's very difficult to believe. There's a lot of people who generally don't believe in religion because they think that the things are too hard. But the basic point is they are hard because it's the only way to give you what you really want at the end. To give you perfection and that you get everything that you want. That's why they are structured like this. But it is hard to see. It's hard to see for everybody, so don't go completely crazy, as good as possible. Take it. Be strong. Believe. Keep your belief that it's going to be perfect. That's what the higher things want you to do. Keep your belief that it's going to be perfect for you, and keep your belief that it's going to be perfect for everybody. As good as you can. Just, you're not doing wrong if you keep your belief. If you keep your belief in these things, in this regard. If you say, yeah, nobody can take it. It's too hard. But still, I believe it's going to be perfect. Still, I believe I'm going to be given the higher things. If you act like that, then you're acting in the right way. But of course, you can know that it's super difficult, and it's difficult for everybody. So let's get back to what you do as long as you can believe. Easily. In these times that you can believe. Let's ask the question, what is this life for? I said, this life is for becoming perfect in being nice to everybody. So that means, ask yourself, what is the thing in this situation that is good for everybody? And then you see there's a difference between the things that are good for you and the things that are good for everybody. And you think, what are the things that are good for everybody? And then the second thought is, what can I do that helps me being as good, as friendly, and as nice as I can be? What is that helps me making this more easy? And then you think, what is it that helps the persons around me, everybody around me, what helps them to be as friendly as they can be? So, for example, if somebody comes to you and says something that he's doing that is really, really mean, and you say that's not being loving at all, then you tell him or her. Because it's of no use for that person if you say, okay, I respect what you do, you're a person, I respect you. If the person is doing something that is not good, then the person is on the wrong way. So what does help the person to be more nice can in this case be that you tell the person that the person is doing something wrong. Then you say, no, what you are doing is not at all a good idea. What you have to do is to be as nice as you can be, and that's not what you're doing. You're just selfish, just trying to get things for yourself and hurting other people, taking stuff away from them. So that is not good for you. So telling somebody that he or she is doing the wrong thing can be a very nice thing to do, because you are helping them to be nice. But if somebody comes to you and is very, very sad, and you think, if that person is sad, the person cannot do the right thing because it's distracted. The person is distracted by being sad. Then you might just listen, and you might just nod and just have an open ear. Be somebody who listens, who's there for that person, who gives the comfort of this type of friendship. That also is then a good thing to do, because it gives power to the person to be nice. That is a thing you can, that's what I say, how you can orientate being nice. It's the question, how can we make it that you yourself can be as nice as possible, and how can we make it that the other people around you can be as nice as possible? Because, I repeat it, perfection has to be thought of as being perfect in being nice. And it's not to be defined in any other way. So that's what you said you're acting in life towards. That's how you act. Every minute, every second, you have to practice that. You go and say to yourself, in your mind, you say, now, in this minute, I want to be as nice as possible. What is good for everybody? What is friendly? And so I want to do that. And 1 minute later, you think the same thing. What can I do now that is nice for everybody? How can things come to you, and you're presented with situations, and you think, how can I act in this situation that is good for everybody? Usually there is an understandable base of things that are nice, that spring to the eye as being nice, things that are good for everybody. Usually things of friendship. So I think I would like to go to an example. Let's imagine you meet a person that you think is hot, sexually hot. You meet a person that you think is sexually hot. That's an example I like to come up with, because sexuality is nothing bad. We are sexual beings, but yet it can it can be something that becomes very important to us, and it can make us forget to be nice because it seems to be too important. So we put that very very much. Put a lot of importance to our sexual wishes. So this can distract from being nice. So let's imagine you meet a person that you think is very hot. So it can easily happen that you have a wrong thought in that situation. And the wrong thought can be, I want this person to think of me as being sexually attractive. It's not bad to be thought of as being attractive. That's not the bad thing. The bad thing is if you put that as your first thought. I want that person to think I'm attractive, because here's what you do. You take that person that you see, you think differently about that person than just, oh, that person is attractive. What you do think is, that is a human being, and this human being has a lot of fears, so is afraid of things, and that human being needs a lot of power to be friendly, because that is what brings this human being to perfection, if it reaches perfection in being nice. And for that it needs power and a good feeling of being safe in friendship. And it needs the friendship in order to not, so that the person doesn't have to be careful who's trying to abuse him or her. So the person needs friendship, a basis of security and friendship, and you have to provide that. So it's not about your lust and your wishes to have sexual fulfillment, and that means it's not about that person noticing you as being attractive. That's something that you don't need. You don't need that person to see you as attractive. What you need is become perfect in being nice. That means you give something to that person, and that is protection. And it's the protection that the person does not have to look out for if you're taking what you can get, which is abusive. If you just pretend, if you started to pretend things like, oh, I'm hot, and you move in a hot way, like, oh, woo, and you're just pretending. You're pretending things in order to be seen as attractive, but that's of no use for the person, because the person needs the protection that you are honest. So start with thinking, and in the first place, this is a person that needs power, protection, and my goodwill. And the person needs me to be honest in telling that person what is the right and nice thing to do, a feedback that it's doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. And this protection is protection. There's a part of the protection is that the person is protected from you being false, from you acting stuff like trying to look attractive. That's basically a false. It's just pretense. It's pretending things that have nothing to do with that person becoming nice. And if you don't act towards that person so that the person has the power to be nice, then that means that you are not acting nice. So you have to act nice to that person. So forget the attractiveness of that person. Rather think it's a human being that needs all the power in this world to be secure in being nice, and it needs feedback on how to be nice. So that's what you do. It's a person. The person is afraid, and the person needs power, and that's the first thing you give to that person. Forget that the person is attractive. Forget that you want to be seen as an attractive person. That's not what you really want, because if you want to be seen as an attractive person, what do you get? At best, the person likes you, but the person will not like you. The person will like the pretense that you put up of being super cool. Okay, people might like that, but it's not what they really want. What they really want is to become perfect in being nice. And maybe, let's say the person finds you attractive because you manage in mirroring images, like putting up false images of yourself, how attractive you are, but with acting really cool or other ideas. What do you put the person in? You put the person in the state of wanting you. But the person does not want you. What the person wants is to become perfect in being nice. That's what the person wants. So you at this point, as you put your wish of being seen as something attractive, if you put that wish first place, you do the wrong thing. And I use this example to show how fine that line is of living religion perfectly. Because that is not your task. Your task is to be perfect. To be as perfect as you can be in being nice. Because then tomorrow you will understand how you could have been even more nice. And then you are even more nice. And the next day you will understand how you can be even more nice. And if you have this kind of acting over years, it can take a while. It can take years. 10 years, 20 years. Maybe you don't even reach it in this life. Maybe you need the next life. All life that you have, all life after this life, however it's gonna look, will always have this central point of you trying to be nicer, to become better in being nice. You becoming better in being caring. And helping the people to become more caring. And give the people power and friendship so that they are secure, so that they can be more caring. That's your only purpose in this universe. Because that brings you to perfection. And at some point of being good enough, of being caring enough, at some point the higher things start to become visible to you. You could say because you are trustworthy, because you're good enough. You're a good enough person. But that's definitions. As I said, I don't like definitions because they put you to going the wrong path. But you will start to see the higher things. Ultimately, you will start to see God. You will start to understand things that you do not understand now. The better you are, the more you have practiced and exercised to be caring and to be a nice person. So that's your first point in every situation. That is if you fail in that, you fail in religion. If you don't see things, higher things, and think I don't believe in them, it's because you don't see them, because you fail in being nice. And even if you are perfectly nice today, you still do not see them this evening. Because you will only understand that you could have been even more nice. And then you do that the next day, and in a few years, you will start to understand these things. When you have transformed, when you've changed yourself to being somebody who really thinks every minute and every second and everything you do about, it has to be about being nice. The things have a certain... the things take time. The people you meet if you are perfectly nice, you don't understand why you are nice, because there's so many other ideas being thought of as being attractive, or getting more money, or being in a better position so that you can that you have more power, earthly power. So there's always ideas that you have that distract you, and that are not being nice, that don't lead you to being nice. Forget earthly power. Forget being thought of as attractive. Forget money. Like, forget it. And just be what is necessary to be nice to the people, so that they get the power and the protection, and that you're nice to them. Don't think of what you can have. Think what good things you can do every minute. That's practicing you. And that's practicing you in being better, understanding more how you can be nice. It's the only thing that is the very only one thing that you have to do. Is your purpose. Your purpose is to be exercised in this, become stronger in doing just this. That's lived religion. From that point, you can think if it's necessary to visit the temple, to be there for the people there, or for meeting people. From there, you can put foot in front of statues. That's really the point of living religion. If you don't do that, every minute you don't do that is wasted. That's wasting your life. If you don't decide to do that, if you don't keep it in your mind, that you say every minute, yeah, I want to be nice now. If you don't have that in your mind, if you rather think, oh, I don't care, you will not get better. And then it's just wasting your time. And you will stay there and think God does not exist, religion does not exist, there's no higher things. It comes from the result, if you don't do it, is you don't see it. That's where you're gonna be nowhere. You're gonna see nothing. It's absolutely no use. The only use is to do that what you are determined to do. That's what this universe is about. You are about to become perfect. That's your purpose. And becoming perfect means being perfect in being nice, perfect in being caring, perfect in being loving. That's why that's your only task. It stands above everything. That's the main point in living religion. It's a thing you do every day, every minute. So I think that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this part of the video. So I think I'll quit the video here.